Thank you.
Aloha, everyone. My name's Adam Wallace. Oh, louder? Okay. I'm the Vice President of Valley Isle Excursions here on Maui. We do Road to Hana tours, Haleakala Sunrise tours, as well as other transportation around the island. I've been with the company for over 20 years. It's a locally owned company here on Maui, and I'm happy to be here with you all today.
Aloha, my name is Lehia Apana, and I'm co-founder of Polipoli Farms in Wai'ehu, Maui. And I won't take too long with this, but this is an important part. My husband and I were born and raised in Wailuku, and we grew up and followed traditional careers. I was in journalism, and he was in commercial construction. And in 2017, we decided to purchase 3 acres in Wai'ehu. A lot of people think we're upcountry, but Polipoli is the traditional name of our aina in Wai'ehu. And at the time, we wanted to one day farm, like maybe in retirement or something like that. But when the pandemic hit, that's when we made the decision to both go full-time into farming. So with Polipoli Farms, we focus on Polynesian plants, and we grow them in an agroforestry setting. From there, we take all of our products and we turn them into value-added products. Actually, the senator teed that up really nicely. A lot of what he was talking about is what we do. So we have packaged products. And one other point I really wanted to make is that we are what you consider a social enterprise. So what that means is one of our main goals is not financial. It's really to address social and environmental issues. And the financial piece supports that. So we do need to make money, but really our end goal is our social issues and our environmental issues.
Hi, my name is Megan Nakashima. I am part of the 4th generation that runs Pukalani Superette. My dad's actually the owner. I'm the daughter of the owner, but also the president. If you don't know about us, we're a very tiny store upcountry. We support local farmers, local vendors, and we're just kind of existing.
Who doesn't know pook soup? Everyone knows pook soup. It doesn't even matter if you are from Lahaina, you know pook soup. Anyway, my name is David Daly. I'm very honored to be up here as a moderator. I'm going to throw some questions at our panelists. Hopefully they can dive into a little bit and you guys can get something out of this. Strive for the summit. This is our success story. So there's going to be nuggets of information that will be beneficial to your journey. So before we get started, I want everyone to get up and do like 10 jumping jacks. Just kidding, just kidding. Okay, this is good, this is good. All right, that's 7, 8, we're good. Excellent. Okay, now you guys are pumped up, ready for action. So just to kind of set the table, how many of you, by show of hands, are currently in business now? And of those in business, are you product or service? Service. Okay. And how many of you are going to intend to be in business in the next 12 months? Okay, awesome. Welcome. All right, so I'm going to kind of take it one at a time here. This first question, I apologize for it being a bit odd. It will be good for you. Megan, what one defining moment in your business journey that made you realize, or what one defining moment in your business journey made you realize you were on the path to success? So it's a little indirect, but give it a try.
So we're a little different, right? My store is almost 100 years old, so our journey has been long. Speaking from the store, there's no real one singular success point, right? 100 years, what can I name? So when I think of success, I think of if there's a storm, my store can open the next day with power and water. Or I can go to work and we can open the store because there's enough employees. Manpower is a problem, or my employees could be sick or have a personal issue and they can't come to work. So the real success for us is every day being able to open the store, and that's not a joke. That's kind of what we determine success as.
Okay, Lehia, you want to take a stab at that one? What one point in time made you realize you're onto something?
I'm gonna start with 2 words. It's gonna be really familiar to most everyone in this room, imposter syndrome. And that is definitely what my husband and I felt for a very long time, still in some situations today. And I remember, so we really went full time into farming during the pandemic. And I remember feeling like, at what point can I call myself a farmer? We felt like we were hobbyists for a long time. And within that first year, we got a $5,000 grant, which to us was, it blew our minds. We were jumping up and down like the Publishers Clearinghouse had come and knocked on our door. And we pretty quickly found out that in farming, $5,000 doesn't go very far. But we were really excited. And so there was the financial aspect of it. But also, I think that moment where somebody outside of our family, outside of our friends, believed in us and really invested in us in that way. And so for us, that was a huge turning point. And I think the biggest part was a mental shift. More than, it didn't give our bank account too much of a boost when farming is such an expensive industry to be in. But really, it kind of made us feel like, okay, somebody else believes in us. So I would say that would be a memorable moment for us.
Awesome. Okay, Adam, take a stab at that, being that you got 18 years in.
Yeah. Well, there's been quite a few, but the most recent one that comes to mind was, as a company, our philosophy has always been community first. And our tour guides and our employees, a very, very close second. And then our customers, our guests, are third. Not that we don't want to give visitors a great tour and a great time, but what are we without the community and without our employees? So that being said, I'm sure everyone knows here that there's a complicated relationship between the community and tourism on Maui. And shortly after the fires, we obviously stopped operating for a variety of reasons. One was to dedicate our fleet to bringing supplies out to the west side, and just out of respect. And I would say within about 3 weeks to a month, we started receiving calls from the Hana community asking us when we were coming back out, when they could expect us to start bringing people back out there. And so that's kind of when a light bulb went off, that I thought to myself, you know what? We do have a good relationship with the communities that we're visiting, we need them more than they need us. But that was probably the moment where I felt like, the philosophy wasn't created by me, it was created by our founder, Ray Hutaff, and we've carried it on. And so I feel like that was the moment that I felt like, you know what, we're doing something right here. Thanks.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to get even more challenging here. You guys ready? Okay, overcoming challenges. What was one of your biggest setbacks or obstacles, and how did you push through it? Megan?
I'd had to think about this one. There's so many problems. Aside from like, you know, the problems that everyone has, manpower, cost of goods, the pandemic, the Maui fires. When we look at the store, we're always being underestimated. And it's fine, and I'll get to that. But we're always underestimated, and we underestimate ourselves, imposter syndrome. Like, we're really good at that. And it's because we're old. Like, we're tiny and old, and nothing looks new, and everything's breaking all the time. And we're not very professional. I was spray painting shopping cart gold today. That's why I'm covered in glitter. And that's just how it is at the store. And so how do we overcome it? We don't. We own it. We know we're the underdog in every fight, and we're cool with it. No matter what the conversation, it's fine. It's the most challenging thing about being underestimated and underestimating yourself is finding a way to value who you are, and we're working on that. But we're cool with everything else.
Lehia? And we are cool with that too. Being a resident of Upcountry for 22 years, I spent many of our shopping in Puke Soup, and I appreciate, and those who have been there appreciate the staff, they appreciate the owners. It's awesome. So thank you. Lehia, what was the biggest challenge, and how do you push through it?
So many. I'm going to continue with the theme of the financial piece. I mean, that I think is a challenge no matter if you're in farming or any other kind of business, especially here in Hawaii. And so I mentioned that my background is in journalism. I hate numbers. And I bet a lot of you folks out there are like that. And I really want to ignore all the numbers and the spreadsheets and the cost of goods and the pricing and all of that. But that would be a huge mistake. And so I would say that's a challenge, but don't ignore the numbers, because if that's not working out, working harder, selling more, producing more is not going to fix it. It's just going to make you more tired. And so one of the ways that we have, and if you have your numbers solid, then ... One of the other ways that you can overcome that financial challenge is through things like grants. And that's really been the reason why we still exist today, is because of grant support. Actually, I can shout out some folks in this very room. MEDB gave us a grant to launch our website, to do media things like photography, videos, so really put our digital footprint out there. MEO, with the agricultural micro grants for farmers, it helped to pay for part of our tractor. So that was huge. That was essentially, we think of it as our first employee, you know, equivalent to that kind of manpower, and many other grants. And so with that, I'll just say that there are so many folks out there. Remember, I was saying I was so shocked that someone would give us $5,000. There are a lot of folks out there who want to see you succeed. Our economy needs it, our island needs it, and a lot of them are in this room. I didn't really realize that in the beginning, but that is why I am sitting up here today, because of so much support of folks who are kind of flanking this room right here. David, your organization, so that would be how we are currently overcoming it.
Awesome. Adam, you want to dive right in?
I would say my biggest obstacle or challenge from my position in the company is definitely managing people. I have found in my ripe old age of 50 that you can't necessarily manage people the way that I was managed in the 90s. It just does not fly anymore. So I found that the best way for me to overcome that is to kind of get a rapport with all my employees as much as I can on a personal level, try to understand who they are, and then, you know, approach any managerial situation from that standpoint. You know, there are some of my employees that I can just tell them straight up, and there are other ones where I need to have a little bit more of a softer approach with. So there's a lot of personalities out there. There's a lot of people that come to work every day ready to go, and there are others that aren't quite as good at that. So I would say overcoming it that particular thing was just taking the time to really have a relationship with all my employees, and you know, we do that through you know, beach days and employee appreciation weekends and things like that. It creates a family style unit, which opens communication and makes it a little bit easier to manage people in that sense.
Awesome. And that's how businesses stay in business for 20 plus years. That's one of the components. So we are going to move on to keys to growth. If you could point out one decision, habit, or strategy that made the biggest difference in your success, what would it be, Megan?
Sorry, I'm going to sidestep it a little bit. I talked to all these questions we were told beforehand, and so I bounced it off of my management team, my dad, and my brother, and we all had different answers. So I don't think one decision, one strategy, anything like that is going to get you anywhere. It's multiple. My answer is we make a million decisions all the time. And sometimes we fail. Maybe like 75% of the time we do fail. But we get back up and we make another decision, and we go through our day and the year like that. I don't want to scare people, but that's kind of what you got to do to keep moving forward, right? So yeah, 100 decisions, millions. Sorry.
That was a perfect answer because that's absolutely the truth. Okay, Lehia.
Well, I love that we are sitting, so my answer is this building, basically, the Pilina building. And if anybody knows that word, I mean, it's hard to just sit here and give you an easy translation, but Pilina, or relationships, to me, that's the foundation of any successful business, especially in Hawaii, and especially on a neighbor island like Maui. And so I'm going to go back to the finances. Can you tell I stay up at night and think about these sorts of things? But, you know, okay, on one hand, you have your financial picture and you have your bank account, right? And that part of your business. But when it comes to Pilina, I think of it as a kind of bank account, this invisible bank account. In fact, people call it social capital. And that is so powerful. So in our experience, anytime we've had a lack of that first kind of bank account, our second, that invisible bank account, is what's pushed us through really challenging times. And so I wouldn't ignore filling up that bank account with Pilina. Could call it networking, right? I'll try and keep this short, but it's not just about collecting business cards. It's not just about having an email list. It's really about that relationship. It's not about knowing people. It's about being in a relationship with folks. So I love that we're in this building here. And when I think about what we do with agroforestry, which is basically a bunch of different layers of plants working together in a single ecosystem, that's kind of the goal, I think, in business, is to build your ecosystem, not just with the financial resources, but with your community and the other people resources here. So I can confidently say that all the best things that have come to us have been through that invisible bank account easily.
I think I'm going to partly steal an answer from up here a little bit, but I don't think there hasn't been only one moment, I would say. It's the way we've grown over the past 20 years, I believe has been not setting anything in stone. We're fluid, we're flexible. If we can do it, we're going to try to do it. We're not rigid when it comes to requests from guests or from customers. We're very flexible when it comes to our employees requesting time off. If we can do it, we're going to do it. And I feel like just that philosophy in general has allowed our company to grow just organically through the years. You know, and you'll be uncomfortable. I'm super uncomfortable right now. This is not in my wheelhouse at all. So, you know, but you're gonna feel uncomfortable waking up at 2 in the morning when, you know, a driver calls out and I need to go do a shuttle myself, or I need to go pick up people myself. It's, you know, it's just, there's a fluidity, I believe, to building and growing a business that is very important, and I would say that's what I find has helped us the most as far as growing.
Awesome. We're power ready? Really? We just got started. Can we do any questions? Any of you guys have any quick questions you want to ask our panelists?
I have time for 2 questions. Any questions? Going once, going twice. Okay, I think you really did such a fabulous job that everybody is clear and they understand and know how wonderful each and every one. I'm going to pass the microphone back, and if each one of you can introduce yourself one more time, just to get everybody to know who you are.
Advice? Oh, okay. I'm Megan Nakashima, 4th generation member of Pukalani Superette. I'm the president. I'm very hands-on. Top tip for any business owner is you're going to fail. Full stop, you're going to fail. But it's how you pick yourself up, right? Be resilient. Rely on your team. This thing is called striving for the summit, right? Well, you gotta wake up every day and put one foot in front of the other. And that's how you get to the summit. So.
Again, my name is Lehia Apana, and I'm with Polipoli Farms in Waʻehu. And my top tip would be, don't be afraid to ask for what you need. I think for a long time, my husband and I would quietly, over the dinner table, talk about all these hopes and dreams. And all the hopes and dreams that are coming to fruition now is because we got outside of our own conversations and we were vulnerable enough to ask. Because, again, so many people are out there waiting to help you, trying to support you folks. So don't be afraid to ask for what you need, even if you think you're not ready yet. So.
My name's Adam Wallace from Valley Isle Excursions, and I would say the 2 tips I would give would be don't be afraid to fail, and don't be afraid to take advice and suggestions from your employees. A lot of times they're the ones out in the field. They're the people in the trenches. So be open to suggestions from your employees. and admit you're wrong when you're wrong.
Let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the success you've had here on Maui, representing and giving us the hope that we can do this. We got this. We got this.